1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony. Until one day, a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
Good evening, welcome to another deadline stream for Game Week 28, which is of course a blank game week. I've still got 2 transfers to lock in before half 6. One of them is going to be harder now, probably for Watkins, maybe for Havertz, but probably for Watkins. And I don't know whether to do Henry to Chilwell. That is basically my dilemma. What's for dinner? I don't know yet. But I had a big lunch, so I don't even know if I need dinner. What's the waiting song? The waiting song is called Phoenix by Netrum, Netrum. It's in the link in the description below, it should be. You can check it out there if you want to. How are we all anyway? Everyone got their transfers locked in? Everyone got their captaincy locked in? Or not? Weather report is it's been raining most of the day in Galway. Nightmare. I'm not free hitting today, no. Amron's out for 3 months, apparently. 3 months. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Not 3 months. Give you a 10 if you play a bench boost. No, I really wish I should have used my bench boost in 27. I mean, obviously the Gabriel stuff is kind of playing on my mind a little bit, but it would have just been so much handier to not have to worry about it for 29. I hate playing it so long after the wild card. This is reminding me now why I don't usually do this. Anyway, it doesn't matter now. It's done. Almiron, yeah, most transferred in midfielder this week. Injured. Loz, happy Friday. How's it going? Haaland to Havertz already done to get to a playing 11. Nice. Cher now injured apparently. Worth a -4 for another double game player next week. Is Cher definitely out? Is he definitely out? I know he's not in the international squad, so you'd assume he probably is out, right? But could he be back for double game week 29? I guess if you can do Cher to Chilwell or James maybe, but you could maybe just keep him till next week, possibly. Feel like we're the only ones on Saka now. I know, I'm not really sure. After the Arsenal result last night, and so obviously Saka didn't play 120 minutes. Martinelli and Zinchenko did, I think. Gabriel did. You just wonder what the reaction's going to be like on Sunday. So it is making me a little bit worried. But I'm currently still on him. I think if I change it to Kane, I don't know. There's something about Kane. He's a great pick. Right? There's just something that tells me just don't do it this week. I almost feel like if I bring Chilwell in, I'd be more likely to switch the captain to him from Saka than to Kane. I don't know. Like, Kane's great. I feel like he's probably the second best captain this week, maybe even the first, depending on who you ask. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I really want to go for him, even though he's great. Are Leeds assets being overlooked for the next few weeks? Yes, they are, but I feel like for good reason. I know they've got Wolves away this week, I think, and then it's Wolves away, then Arsenal away. So yeah, they are being overlooked, but for very good reason, I would say. Gavin, how's it going? Member 6 months. Can you rank for free hit 28 the Arsenal players? Gabriel, Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, Tross. I mean, I would probably have the same 3 that I own. I go Saka, then Odegaard, then Gabriel. And then Martinelli and Zinchenko both played 120 minutes on Thursday. So I guess Saka, then Odegaard, then Gabriel, then I guess probably still Martinelli, Zinchenko and Trossard last. Something like that. I think if I was free hitting this week, I would probably just go for Saka, Gabriel and Odegaard, to be sure. I really like Martinelli, and I'm sure he probably will start, but I don't know. Hang on, sorry. I almost bench boost with Kepa, Gabriel, Saka and Perot. I know, we wouldn't have to worry about 29, but it's done now. No point worrying about it. Tom Digby, thank you very much. Still Captain Saka, won't Arsenal be quite tired? I mean, I'm sure they will be tired, but Saka didn't play 120 minutes. I'm hoping it doesn't they've played Thursday to Sunday before, but obviously not 120 minutes. But then not all the players played 120 minutes. So, yeah, I'm going to go for it. Obviously, if you don't want to go for Saka, you should just go for Kane. Like if you're not sure on Saka, you should not captain him. It's not like I think he's miles ahead of everyone else or anything like that. I might even switch by the end of the stream. Who knows? Can I do a quick wildcard draft? Not really, to be honest. I've not given it enough thought to put together something proper, if I'm honest with you. I just hadn't had enough time at the end of the week. But I guess you want to put something together with 11 players this week. So you probably want, I wouldn't get Tony now. So you probably want maybe Havertz, Watkins, maybe Iheanacho, maybe Kane, James and Chilwell possibly. David De Gea on the bench. Which goalkeeper this week? David De Gea on the bench and Kepa in goal maybe? No, that's not good because game week 32 would be a problem. I'm not sure about the goalkeeper combination. Can I do a captain poll? Yes. Has your free hit squad changed from your video? I mean, no, but only because I'm not on free hit, so I haven't thought about it since the video, to be honest. Start a poll. Okay. I feel like you only really need 3 options. I guess you could put Watkins in. The website that I use for planning is called FPL.team. The only Arsenal news that I've seen is that Gabriel should be fine, and I think Zinchenko's fine as well. But I have no idea if they're starting. I do not have the team news. It's far too early for that with a Sunday game. But apparently they're fine. Like they're not injured or anything like that. But there's not going to be any more news than that now. And I would take that with a pinch of salt because it's Friday and the game's not till Sunday. So double figure hauls, Tony 6, Kane 5, Saka 2. This is like when Rafinha didn't have any double digit hauls but got 9 points loads of times. Following your team since game week 26, are you definitely taking Haaland out? Probably, yeah. Henry out for Chilwell, not Estepinian. I think so. Like, if I take out Estepinian, I've just got to get him or McAllister in next week. I just don't know if I want to do that. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of how many transfers it would take, right? So let's just say I take Estepinian out, but I want him straight back. I'm just going to have to do this on my other screen a sec. So let's just say I get Watkins in and Chilwell for Estepinian. So next week, I want Estepinian back. So I take out Henry. And then I still do my other moves, which are Gabriel to Shaw. And why do I now have more money? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so then I'd have to do Saka to Fernandes. Yeah, so I could do that. That would take me a -8, and I'd probably also have to deal with Tony. So that's a -8. So hang on a second. Let's remember this. -8. If I take Henry out this week, Chilwell for Watkins. Haaland for Watkins. Then in game week 29, I do the same moves. Fernandes in, Luke Shaw in. Is that it? It's a -4. So basically, if I take out Estepinian and decide that I want him, I guess there is a chance that I just wouldn't want him back, right? There is a chance that I wouldn't want him back. But if I take out Estepinian, it's an extra hit in game week 29. When I'm already going to have to take a few hits for the bench boost. Bench boost is going to be a nightmare. So is it worth that? Is it worth a -4? I mean, you could argue that it is, because next week maybe I don't want Estupinian. Maybe he gets injured on international break and I just get Dunk or McAllister instead. I don't know, maybe it's worth it. Wait, what? Taking Henry out is silly when he plays. Doesn't make any sense, even if looking forward. Estupinian has a better 29 than Henry. Yeah, exactly. That precisely. Your last point is why I'm even thinking about it. He has a much better 29 and then 3 more double game weeks. Henry will play, yeah. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. Would you do Bowen and Maddison for Saka and Odegaard in game week 29 and bench boost? Possibly, but honestly, I would just wait until game week 29, unless it massively affects your, thinking for this week too much. Can I give you a horse for the last at Cheltenham? I don't have a clue what's going on there. I've bought in Son. Am I mad? Possibly, yeah, possibly a little bit mad. Ben White, an option for free, hit 28. He was rested for the Europa League. Yeah, I mean, Tomiyasu looked injured as well. Didn't he have to go off injured? So Ben White's minutes should be pretty good, but I think I'd still go Gabriel. In the Saka versus Kane, Kane's got 30 bonus points this season, Saka 13. This worried me quite a bit, considering this. Nope. Not really. What's the advantage of Maddison? Over what? I mean, he's got good fixture this week, double in 29, good fixture in game week 30. Oh, left on crutches for Tomiyasu. So Ben White's minutes should be really good. Should be really good. Who else could even play right back there? Oh, happy St. Patty's Day. Are you saying St. Patty's ironically? Or I want Chilwell, Watkins in for me, Harden, but own Sanchez as goalkeeper and Tony. Is it worth taking a hit in 29 to take those two out for bench boost and return Harden in 30? I mean, Sanchez is going to have to be moved at some point anyway, so yes. And Tony possibly if he's banned, yeah. Arteta said Tomiyasu injury is serious. There you go. There you go. Ben White's minutes are good. I still think I'd go Gabriel, though. Almiron's apparently out for 3 weeks. Wildcard 26 worked a wonder. It's done pretty well in 27. Let's see what it does this week. There's a couple of tough decisions this week. Yeah, I don't really have anything more to add than I've already said loads this week about captaincy. Like I really don't think that it's that much difference between Saka and Kane. So if you don't like Saka for any reasons that you can come up with, go for Kane. Or someone different. Watkins, Chilwell, Reece James. Then let this moment linger. So yeah, I would probably do me and Haaland to Chilwell and Watkins still. Why is everyone going on about Havertz over Felix? Because he's confirmed as first choice penalty taker. That's pretty much why. Henry to Chilwell or March to Maddison for free. I mean, March to Maddison obviously gives you an extra player this week, so you could possibly do that. But then I guess it depends what that changes for you next week. Like for me, for example, I am building towards a midfield in game week 34, and I know it's a long way away, but that's what I'm thinking about right now: of Salah, Fernandes, Rashford, and 2 Brighton midfielders. So if I get Maddison, he's got to go at some point again soon. So that's probably why I'm not going to do it. I think I'm just conscious of not wasting transfers on Brighton players because I'm going to want 3 going forward. So if I remove Estupinian, I'm either saying that it's worth a -4 to get an extra player this week and lose 0.1 million, or I'm saying I'm going to get a different Brighton player, and I'm not that sure there's a different one I really want. Like McAllister is great, but do I really want triple Brighton midfielders? I don't think I do. Felix got hooked at half-time last week. That is true, yeah. That is true. Havertz's minutes are very good. Martin, new member, thank you very much. Salah to Son for a free transfer and Captain Watkins. If you want to Captain Watkins, you should absolutely do that. Salah to Son is okay, but Salah and Son both have the exact same number of fixtures over the next 2 weeks, even though Son's are better. But Son has been so poor this season, you're definitely going to want to get rid of him again soon, so I'm not sure if I would actually do that. Don't know when to choose my wildcard. Any thoughts? I mean, do you need a good team this week? Do you need... How well can you cope with game week 28 and 29 without a wild card? Because if you can, then you could wild card this week. But to be honest, it's 5:15. We've got an hour and 15 minutes to the deadline. If you've not already thought about it for this week, I would suggest you probably don't need to do it. Unless you've already thought of a team, in which case you possibly could. So I'm in Korea this week. Very late, 1 a.m. Nice. Like to get this done. Trent to Chilwell. Haaland to Watkins. 2 free transfers. Please tell me the downside why I shouldn't do this. I mean, that looks pretty good to me. Like, I think we are going to want Liverpool players back, but Trent has a blank, then Chelsea away, Man City away, then Arsenal at home in the next 3 game weeks. There ain't no clean sheets there, I don't think. So, I like Chilwell. I like Trent, and we probably will want to get him back, but I think for now, Chilwell is a much better option in the short term. SGP now to a defender or Sterling to Maddison for a -4. Well, Sterling is not in the England squad. Is he completely flagged? I don't know if... I've been out all day, so I don't know if Graham Potter mentioned it. He's red flagged. So I would probably take out Sterling. I feel like you're not going to be that worried about not having Sterling next week. I think I'd rather have SGP now. Saliba out for Chilwell and keep Henry. You could do that. I guess there's no guarantee that Saliba's definitely out, though. That's the problem. I guess as things stand, I'd be more confident about Henry starting than Saliba. So if you're going to get rid of both of them next week, then yes, you could go that way. Am I near Dublin? No, I'm in Galway. If so, have you been to Black Forge Inn, Conor McGregor's restaurant? Nope. 2, can you fix your player's position, please? I.e. swap Saka and Odegaard? No, I don't. Can't bother to do that. 2 free transfers. Haaland to Watkins, Estupinian to Chilwell. In 29, me to Estupinian. Again, though, that's one extra transfer just to not get rid of your Brentford player this week instead. That wasn't any downside. Yeah, but I don't think there is any downside with your transfers. Like, what's the downside? I mean, the downside is the same as any transfers. You bring them in and they get injured. But that can happen any week, right? The only reason that a lot of us are even worried about doing certain transfers this week is the international break. You've got that extra week of worry and a couple of games for the international break. But players like Chilwell, they're probably not going to get a huge amount of minutes for England. I would not be surprised if Luke Shaw starts both games for England. I don't think it would be that surprising at all. Chilwell might get one start, right? And he'll probably come off the bench for sure. But I don't think he's definitely not going to start the Italy game, I don't think. Definitely not gonna, I don't think. Doesn't make sense, I know, but hopefully you get what I'm trying to say badly. 2 free... yeah. Pereira and Havertz or James and Iheanacho. Like, Pereira from Leicester. I wouldn't want a Leicester defender, so I'll say James and Iheanacho. Brighton defender to Chilwell and Haaland to Ferguson. No. Ferguson doesn't even play this week. Alright, Brighton are blanking. Oh, this Billing or a guy whose name I can't even probably pronounce properly. Why are you getting a... Who have Bournemouth got this week? It's away game to Aston Villa. Are you just getting them because they're cheap? I mean, I guess I would probably go Billing, but I got to be honest with you, I haven't given much thought or looked into Bournemouth midfielders a hell of a lot. So if you've got a preference, I would just go with the one you prefer. Because I got to be honest, there's nothing telling me to go Billing over the other guy, other than maybe I can't pronounce his name properly. I've not even looked at the stats for those two, if I'm honest with you, at all. My big water bottle's here. But it's got no water in it. Planet FPL Bournemouth correspondent said Billing the best. There you go. There you go. Maybe he couldn't pronounce the other guy's name either. Solly March has just signed a new contract with Brighton. Nice. Doing really well right now. Chilwell or Reece James, only one has competition to start. I mean, I don't think that's true. I mean, we've already seen Graham Potter literally happy to rest Reece James and play Loftus-Cheek right wing back. And to be honest, I don't think... I know Cucurella has played left wing back recently-ish for Chelsea, but I don't think it's a position that Graham Potter likes him playing that much. I really don't. So I would agree that Chilwell's maybe got slightly more competition on that left-hand side than right, but given Reece James' recent fitness, I don't feel like it's... I think Reece... if you... basically, here's what I say, and then you can decide. If from now until game week 31, 32 or whatever, Chilwell and James play the same amount of minutes, I'd rather have Reece James. I'm personally not confident in Reece James' fitness because he just hasn't made that many games recently. It was just illness, so maybe he'll be perfectly fine now. And Chilwell's been out for a long time. I just trust him a little bit more right now. That is it. So I would probably go Chilwell over James. In fact, if I buy one today, I will buy Chilwell instead of James. But I could have that completely wrong. Maybe James would be amazing. Duncan, how's it going? Happy birthday to the missus, thank you. Could sell Haaland to Watkins and Salah to Maddison, but if a free hit, I keep Kane, Haaland, Salah, Tony. Tony's not great long term, I would say. 3 Brighton, Gabriel, bench double game at 29. Tony, Saka, Gabriel to Watkins, Maddison, Shaw. Yeah, 3 Brighton. I'm confused though. You don't have. Yeah. I mean, keeping Tony is not necessarily that great. He could be banned by the time you get to 29. You're not selling Saka anyway, so you'd have him whether you free hit or not. So you basically got Haaland, Salah, and 3 Brighton to worry about. So you could just make 2 transfers, right? Haaland to Watkins, which is a player you're thinking about bringing in anyway. And Salah out for one of the other players you're thinking about bringing in anyway, if you wanted to. Or one of the Brighton instead. I don't, it doesn't sound to me like you need the free hit, but you would have looked at it a lot more than me, obviously, for your own team. Done Henry and Haaland to Chilwell and Watkins. Just want to keep Estepinian for the double, even meaning it's going with 10 this week. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It will be really annoying though if we dump Henry instead of Estepinian. Henry keeps a clean sheet and Estepinian misses the first game of 29. That would be annoying. You have Haaland budget after Chilwell, Watkins, Bruno. Only if I sell Saka instead of Odegaard. That's basically the There's a few ways that I can get Haaland back while also getting Chilwell this week and Fernandes next week. One of them is to sell Saka instead of Odegaard. The other one is to ship Tony to Solanke or Iheanacho. And I think I'm just going to commit to doing that. If I get Chilwell, I'm just going to commit or just accept the fact I'm going to have to take a few hits next week, and it might involve getting rid of Saka instead of Odegaard. And am I completely happy about that? Absolutely not. But I feel like I'm probably going to do it. And just hope for the best. Why not keep Estepinian, remove Haaland and just play with 10 and do Henry to Chilwell or Shaw next week? Yeah, I could absolutely do that. And that might be worth it because we've got an international break, right? So having 2 transfers in 29 could be really good. But I feel like if I'm going to get Chilwell anyway for Henry, why do I not just get him this week when he's a better option this week? That's basically what you're weighing up if you're looking at Henry to Chilwell. You're getting a much better player this week, but you're taking a risk that something happens over the international break. That is the only conundrum, really, unless someone can think of something different that I should consider. Henry is a great player. Why would you get rid of him? But I just don't see too many clean sheets for Brentford over the next few games. To be honest with you, if Chilwell wasn't an option... If Chilwell didn't suddenly play 5, 6, 7 games... No, it's not that much. I think he's played like 5 games in a row or something like that. 80 to 90 minutes in most of them. They've now switched to a wing-back system, so he's playing as a wing-back, not a full-back. If none of that stuff had happened, I probably would just be keeping Henry, and I would just do Haaland to Watkins and roll, which was the original plan. But I feel like enough stuff has changed. Since the wildcard in 26 to maybe change the plans. Basically, that's it. But again, if you don't think it's worth the risk and you want to just roll that transfer into 29, you should absolutely just do that. You should absolutely do that. Chaz, member for 10 months. Thank you very much. Almost a year. Happy days. Only 2 months to go. After 120 minutes, thoughts on Zinchenko to Chilwell and March to Odegaard. Odegaard to Mac 10 next week. I don't mind the March to Odegaard then back again swap if it fits with the rest of your transfers. Zinchenko to Chilwell is okay. I don't know. It's so hard to know if Zinchenko is going to start. I've got a feeling we're not going to see hardly any changes for Arsenal. And I got a feeling it's going to be Ramsdale, Ben White, Saliba. If Saliba's fully injured, then Holding, Gabriel, Zinchenko, the normal two in midfield plus Odegaard, and then probably Martinelli, Trossard, Saka. I feel like we're not going to get as many changes as we think. Now, whether or not they'll be as good, because a lot of them have had to play a lot of minutes on Thursday, then straight into a game on Sunday, maybe they won't be great, but I'm not that keen on Zinchenko to Chilwell personally. Yeah, I'm not that keen on it. But if you're fairly certain that he's not going to play, then yes, you should do it. But I feel like he's going to play, even with 120 minutes. Zinchenko, I think there was like some reports on Twitter that he was holding his hamstring or something. Obviously, they did play a lot of there's a lot of minutes last night, right? So apparently he was holding his hamstring, but we haven't actually heard that he's got an injury or something like that. So, yeah. It's hard to know for sure. Should I do Tarkowski and Haaland to Chilwell and Watkins -4? I don't have Kane and I will have 9 players this game, which includes Gnonto. Or should I? So you're going to have to take a hit and you're still going to have 9 players in Gnonto. Doesn't sound great to me. That sounds like you're close to wildcard territory to me. I think if you're thinking about wildcarding this week, you're in a very you're in a similar position to like wildcard 26 and 27, where you can set up for blank game week 28 and sort out double game week 29 at the same time. But obviously the problem is you haven't got much time to think about it now, and I'm not sure how much I can help with wildcarders. I just haven't looked into it enough this week. But that sounds like you're getting close to wildcard territory for me. Tony to cut. There's no way I'm getting rid of Tony this week. He's not suspended, and Leicester at home is a really good fixture. So I'm definitely keeping him. Best Almiron replacement. I have Madison bench boost 29. Honestly, there's really no. I don't think there's I would say there's hardly any good midfielders this week that also double in 29. I really think there's hardly any. Like some people looking at Bournemouth midfielders they were chatting about earlier. Billing just doesn't sound great to me. Otherwise, you're looking at Arsenal players, and they've got Leeds at home next week, but they've got no double. Like there really isn't many midfielders. Like you look at the. Hang on, let me just bring up the fixtures for this week. Like no Newcastle midfielders, no Nottingham Forest, no one really from Villa. Billing can't get excited about that. No one from Brentford. You've already got Madison. No one from Ward-Prowse, but he's got no double next week. I wouldn't do it. Son, very expensive. Wolves and Leeds probably wouldn't go there. And Leeds have got Arsenal away next week anyway. Mudryk. Sterling's out. Gallagher. Like these are not players you probably want, right? So I don't think there is. Yeah, Bailey, but he's not even guaranteed to start, is he? Like how many times has he started recently? I'm sure he missed a game. I don't think he was injured either. 63 minutes, 21 minutes, 60 minutes, 23 minutes. So he's been benched 2 out of the last 4 games. I just don't think he's a good option at all. The person that asked has already got Madison. So Enzo, Forest mids. I probably wouldn't do that. I don't think there are any good replacements. Honestly, I think you go for an Arsenal midfielder. If you've already got Arsenal midfielders, if you've already got triple Arsenal, I honestly don't know what you do. Barnes, yeah, Maybe. You could. I tell you what. You could go double Leicester midfield. Double Leicester midfield and take a punt on. Take a punt on. What's his name? I'm trying to find his name. Tete. But even he didn't start last game. I think Barnes has missed one as well. Yeah, Barnes didn't start last game either against Chelsea. He only played 45 minutes against Southampton. Jacob Murphy. Oh my God. Yeah, maybe Billing. Maybe Billing is actually the best option. If you can't go Arsenal midfielders and you've already got Maddison, maybe Billing is the best option. St. Maximin, I can't get excited about any of them. Amron injured, play 10 or take a -4 for a double game week player. I would take the -4 if there's someone good that you can find. If you can get Maddison, maybe he's worth it. Billing has more points than Matoma. I know, but more points doesn't necessarily mean better option, does it? But sure, go for Billing if you can't get anyone else. But Maddison's the obvious one if you haven't already got him. Like Billing's goal threat this season is 0.13 per 90 minutes XG. That is so bad. 0.1 expected assists. Like there's defenders with higher stats than that. Like surely he cannot keep this up. What's he done recently? Goal. Oh, he's done nothing before that. Jeez, this is a proper knee-jerk. Since the last... look, whether or not something's massively changed with Bournemouth, I don't know. Bournemouth fans, let me know. But he's basically scored against Liverpool and Arsenal, and he hasn't scored before that since game week 15. Billing's a rubbish option. He's rubbish. Basically, my general thoughts are for midfielders this week. If you're trying to bring in a midfielder with a game this week and a double in 29, there are basically... I think it's basically Maddison. I think that is your only genuinely good option. Billing was playing DM before, but Joe Rothwell is now there now. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Let me look at the numbers from the last two games specifically. Liverpool 0.3 XG. Arsenal 0.5. I mean, not bad. Better than before. Maybe he is now great. Gibbs White. Let's be honest, right? We're scraping the barrel here. Newcastle at home, Wolves at home, Leeds away. I mean, that's not bad. It's not bad. But I feel you're also adding a player that you don't really want for double game week 29. But I guess some of you are stuck. If you can't get Maddison, maybe you've got to look at Billing or Gibbs White. Otherwise, I think you just get an Arsenal midfielder, honestly. Zaha. Nah, can't keep talking about midfielders. They're all rubbish. Had 33 on the bench last week. Already had Chilwell. Listened to content creators who say bench boost. I wouldn't listen to content creators. I'll turn off right now. Haaland out. Fingers crossed. Yeah, fingers. I mean, you don't need to cross your fingers this week. You're fine this week. It's next week you really want to cross your fingers. Okay, let's look at this. Altara, is that how you pronounce it? 0.31 XG, 0.22 expected assists since he's been at Bournemouth. That's only like one match. Oh geez, seven matches. Why? Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong numbers. In 7 matches, 0.31 expected goals, 0.22 expected assists. The numbers are pretty good before that. There you go. That's your player. Go and get Altara from Bournemouth. Why are we even talking about this? 5 million. He started every single game since he came in. Get Altara. There you go. That's my punt for this week. Altara, 5 million. Take him instead of the rest. Right, we're getting off midfielders. Made a drunk sub. De Bruyne to Maddison earlier. I mean, it sounds alright. Would Estepini and Chilwell make sense for a hit to get 10 playing players? Possibly, but you might want Estupinian back next week, so it might add an extra transfer. That's the only thing. Suppose you aren't back in for Solanke. Better double than Watkins. Yeah, I know, but the thing about Watkins, he's got Bournemouth and Forest either side. I quite like that. Plus, Solanke's numbers are also rubbish. Like, I think I got a little bit lucky with the points I got from him last time. He is nailed and on penalties, but 0.21 expected goals per 90 minutes. That's real bad. Can he do better than that? Going off Chilwell by the second. Seb, why are you going off Chilwell? Oh, you want Shaw more next week? I'm getting both. I think I've got to get both. I like how Bournemouth's become the main talking point. I know. What the hell's happened here? Trossard on Martinelli on wildcard, or go Saka and Odegaard? I would just go Saka and Odegaard, honestly, and just play it safe. The thing is, right, obviously, if you've got the cash to do the moves you want to do, you sell Odegaard next week and you keep Saka. But if you don't, and you're in a position where you need to sell Saka, you definitely want Odegaard there and not one of the other midfielders. Basically, what I'm trying to say is Marseille and Trossard are probably fine for the short term, but if it gets to a point where you have to keep Odegaard longer term, if you have to keep the Arsenal midfielder you bring in longer term, you probably want Odegaard in that position. Not seeing anything about Share, no. Was asking for Billing or Altara as a one-week punt. Villa the worst defence in the league. Southampton feels like a trap, so taking Son out. If you've got Son, I don't know why you would take him out this week, to be honest with you. But yeah, Atara, I guess. Numbers are looking good. Very small sample size, though. Very small. Kyle Patrick Vineyard, new member, thank you very much. Luke, -4 transfer Martinelli or Trossard for a one-week punt. I'd probably go Martinelli, but honestly, I'd just get Odegaard for safety. Already done Haaland to Watkins, although that wouldn't be a punt, I guess. Haaland to Watkins, thinking Pinnock to Chilwell -4. I'm not even sure that I want to do... I'm not even sure that I want to do Henry to Chilwell for free. So I'm probably not going to... I wouldn't do it for a hit, I don't think. I think that's probably a step too far. Do you prefer McAllister to Matoma? I don't know about that. I do like Matoma. I think I'm still saying Matoma, McAllister, March as the worst one. Yeah, no, I wouldn't say that Villa are the worst defence in the league, no. James Muncie, thank you very much. Jandra. Who's on penalties for Leicester? We actually don't... I would say we don't know, because Vardy's usually first choice. Obviously, he's not playing. And Tielemans would be next. He's injured. So it's either... I would assume it's Iheanacho or Maddison. Last time I asked a Leicester fan, so Sam Martin on Twitter, he said he thinks it's probably going to be Iheanacho. I've got Chilwell on the brain. Probably Iheanacho, but he also said there's not really anything behind that. He just thinks that's what it probably is. That's also my thoughts. I assume that Iheanacho will take one ahead of Maddison, but there's no guarantee about that. Maddison might be first choice penalty taker while Vardy and Tielemans are not on the pitch. We just don't know. I don't think there's any games where they've both been off and Iheanacho and Maddison have both been on where they've got a penalty. So, yeah, I don't know. Most nailed Villa defender, I guess it's Tyrone Mings, but Matty Cash is... I would say Matty Cash is pretty much as nailed, and he's probably a bit more attacking. Moreno is probably the one you want, but I just don't think you can guarantee it. We're not getting rid of Rashford, no chance. He's probably going to be my captain next week. Worth taking a -4 hit to put Kane in for Haaland. Probably. I think so. I think for any moves like that, you've really got to see how it affects your next few transfers as well, but I think probably, yeah. I think. But he hasn't got a double next week, and you're probably going to want to get rid of him soon-ish. I feel like it's probably worth a hit, but you'd have to look at your next few chances, I think. Are we giving Leicester a bit more credit than they should have? They've scored 1 goal in the last 4 away games. Yeah, but what... Okay, but let's look at their expected goals in the last 4 away games. So... Away to Southampton, they put up 1.9 XG. Very good. Away to Man United, they put up 1.66. In fact, if you watch that Leicester-Man United game, how Leicester didn't score early on, I don't know. They got a little bit unlucky there. Away to Villa, they scored 2 goals away to Villa. Hang on, their last 4 away games. Am I looking at this wrong? Away to Southampton, 1.9 XG, didn't score. Away to Man United, 1.6 XG, didn't score. Away to Villa. Or was Villa at home, was it? Yeah, I think so. They put up 2.6 XG and scored twice. Nottingham Forest, they put up 1 XG, didn't score. I think the Leicester attack's pretty good. Look, it just obviously it's not always going to happen, but Leicester are one of those teams I always expect to score. I've just realised I've got the fixtures up on screen. I always expect to score, and I always expect to concede basically every game. Two of Haaland, Matoma, Rashford, Gakpo, Dunk for a -4 to get 11 playing players. Gakpo for sure, 100%, and then probably Haaland. What's happened in Game Week 32 to make you free hit? There'll be blank game weeks based on the FA Cup results in the next round. So if Man United and one of Man City or Brighton go through to the next round, Brighton, Man City, Man United and Chelsea will all blank. And for me, that will probably be taking out 7 of my players. And also, I won't have any Liverpool for Nottingham Forest at home and maybe 1 Arsenal for Southampton at home. They scored 4 against Villa. Yeah, I hang on a second. I'm reading the numbers the wrong way around, I think. Oh, hang on a second. Sorry. Okay. So the goals scored are the same as the XG. Their goals. Yeah, sorry. So the last few away games, Southampton 1.9 XG, they didn't score. Man United away 1.6 XG, they didn't score. And then away to Villa they scored 4 goals. And away to Walsall they scored 1 goal. Way to Forest, Newcastle, no goals. But one of them was a cup game. Got a hunch on Isak. Well, Wilson hasn't trained this week, so Isak should start again. I guess the problem with Isak is just what happens when Wilson's fit. And we have now got 2 weeks where he could get fit. I'm probably not going to play with 11 players this week. I'm a little bit... confused is the wrong word. I'm a little bit stuck with Estepinian because I think there's a lot of people getting rid of him, which makes me think, have I got it wrong by keeping him? But when he starts, I got him for 4.8 million, I think. No, how much? Wherever he is now, I got him for 0.1 less. I think I got him for 4.7. He's playing in a very good team. Defensively, are pretty sound. And he's very attacking. It just feels like too good to turn down. And he's got a double game week of Brentford at home, Bournemouth away. It feels a little bit too good to turn down. And I definitely want 3 Brighton moving forward. So is it worth a transfer to change them around? Do I want to change Estepinian to Dunk? Do I want to just do Estepinian out and back in? Or do I want to do Estepinian to triple mids? I just don't think I do. I think this week for me is a little bit of... It's almost like damage limitation. Like in a blank game week, it's not that you can't make gains, because you absolutely can. Especially when you've wildcarded to be ready for it. But you almost just want to not get punished. So if I can get away without a red arrow, or if I get a very small red arrow, and I'm going into next week and I've still got Estepinian in my team, then I'm quite happy about it. So I actually not sure whether it's the correct move to keep him. But what I do know is, if I can get through this week without any major damage to my overall rank, I'm going to be much happier seeing him in my team for Game Week 29. Is basically it. That's kind of how I'm thinking about it. He does go to Australia, I know. I am a little bit worried about that. I'm hoping he doesn't play in the second game or something, or gets to come home a little bit earlier. But who else? They haven't really got anyone that can play in that position. Please note, Brighton fixtures after the double is bad for clean sheets. But you can bench him, right? You can bench him. And also, they might double in Game Week 31 as well. And if they do double in 31, I want to play him. So basically, it could be double in 29... bench him for 30, double in 31, free hit in 32, and then the fixtures get better and he'll have another 2 double game weeks anyway. It's a friendly game in Australia, wouldn't count on playing 90 twice. Exactly. I get the problem is it's a long flight. No matter how many minutes you play in a game, it is a long flight. So I completely agree, but I think I'm going to take the risk. I don't know, just this season, I feel like Chilwell and James have hardly been options. Trent has been completely off the boil. Robertson hasn't been great either. We finally got a very attacking defender who's very cheap, who plays in a pretty good defence. I just don't think I don't know. I just don't. Maybe I'm just talking myself into keeping him. I don't know. But I just don't want to get rid of him. Have you checked a bench boost on 31 in case they double? I don't think I have. I think it would be Odegaard. Obviously one of my goalkeepers. It might work, but I would only even consider that if we knew the double before game week 29. I wouldn't risk it happening. I can't remember exactly what the bench is, but I think there's a few times for the rest of the season where the bench is going to look good. You don't need 11 players, right? Yes, that is true, but I've got 9 and I have 2 transfers, so I can literally get to 11. And I don't think getting rid of Estepinian is necessarily bad. I just don't think I want to do it. Like there's just lots of reasons why I want Estepinian in my team from next week. So I'm probably just gonna do that, I think. But I could also be talking absolute rubbish. Emerson Royale could not play to Chilwell. Yeah. I mean, generally, I just like Chilwell in this week, yeah. Pedro Porro could play instead. Good old Pedro Porro. Either way, you can't rely on Emerson Royale going forward. Oh, I just realised I did a captaincy poll. Wow, Kane is so high. 59%. I'm worried about captaining Saka. I've got to be honest. I'm a bit worried. Like it's not necessarily a case of just. I said this on a member stream yesterday. It's not just about. It's not just about just going with what the poll says because that's the popular pick. It's like if Kane's on 58% from nearly 10,000 votes and Saka's on 25%, I'm asking myself, have I got something wrong? More people on the captaincy poll voted than the watching. I know, it's been up for a while. Tony captain going under the radar. I think if you say that Saka is the best Arsenal captain, right? So we just disregard all other Arsenal players. We just say that Saka is the best one, and then it's Kane. If we say they're the top 2, I think the next best is probably Tony or Watkins because of the fixture. And Tony's goal threat is a bit higher, and he's a better penalty taker. So you could argue Tony's ahead of Watkins, and possibly the third best option this week. You do realise it will only be a 35% EO roughly max for Kane, not the worst. Not sure what you mean. I mean, surely Saka and Kane will both be over 100%, won't they? Vieira Saka hasn't really influenced it at all. I mean, there could be some new manager bounce, right? We leak more goals at home, so Saka clean sheet might not be there, and also new manager. Yeah, it is a bit annoying they sacked him before the Arsenal game, got to be honest. Mate, I don't know. I'm not going to read that because it's in all capitals. Best second goalkeeper on a wildcard. I'm going to bench Reece next week. Who's your first one? I think De Gea I like is the second goalkeeper for what it's worth. Well, there's no literal new manager, but there's obviously someone taking charge, right? Meter Shaw on bench with 29 looks great. Cash or Botman share? I have Chilwell, Trippier, and Henry. I would probably go. It's a bit annoying because Villa have got 2 nice fixtures either side of the double, but the double itself is not necessarily great, especially for defenders. And Newcastle will have another double as well, so I'd probably just go for Newcastle. But I don't know if you can buy share right now, so it's probably got to be Botman, and that's not that exciting. So I will say probably still Botman. If Tony gets 10th yellow card this week, are you bringing Haaland back in next week? Possibly. remember what the question was now that I just said possibly to. Oh, bringing Tony back. Bringing Haaland back. Yeah, maybe. I might just go for a 1 week punt, though, to be honest with you. No, I suspect I would just get him back at that point. When will Newcastle concede today? I don't know. 2 free transfers done. Haaland to Havertz. Do Botman to Chilwell as well. No, I wouldn't do Botman to Chilwell, I don't think. I would say. Because Botman's got a double next week. And an okay one at that. Given that they're a pretty good defence. Should I go Tarkowski to Gabriel and take a -4? I would say if you're going to keep and play Gabriel next week as well, then I would maybe be tempted by that a little bit. But Gabriel hasn't got any more doubles or anything to come, so I'd probably just go Tarkowski and hope for the best. Kangai member for 16 months, thank you very much. Nyonto to Havertz for a hit to play this week. Yeah, I think there's a chance that Nyonto doesn't start, and I don't think he's great going forward, and Havertz got a double, so I'd probably take that hit. Saw an area map the other day of Arsenal's recent game. Saka's very wide, while Trossard, Martinelli and Odegaard were all in the action in the middle. Yeah, could be right. I'm still going to go Saka, I think. I don't know. Oh, there's part of me that wants to change the K. Like, yesterday I was kind of set on it. Yeah, I really don't know. Yeah, Crystal Palace defence has been really bad all season, but it's not like the Southampton defence is great either. Yeah, I think the thing that's swinging it for me is the home fixture versus away. But there's nothing to say that Kane can't score 2 free goals, you know? Could just go rogue, go Tony. Do. I think I'm going to stick to Saka, to be honest with you. I do think I don't know. Yeah, I think so. 38 minutes to change. Yeah, Kane. Yeah, that's a good point. Kane's minutes are secure, I guess. 90 minutes for Kane for absolute sure. Will Saka's be reduced a bit? They could be. Yeah, you could be right. Southampton were awful against Brentford. Yeah, and Tony was away. He got a goal and an assist. I don't know. Look, Arsenal. Saka didn't play 120 minutes, so his own personal minutes should be good. Whether or not the minutes of everyone else will affect how the team plays, that's up for debate. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. They've got nothing else to concentrate on now apart from the Premier League. So Saka should get pretty good minutes this week. Yeah, I don't think the fact that Crystal Palace is Guaita not back. No, honestly, I've been out all day, so I've not even checked this stuff. But even if they've got their young goalkeeper playing, like he did all right against Brighton, didn't he? Why not Gabriel as captain? Palace are well vaccinated against scoring. Look, I love Gabriel, but I don't like captaining defenders, so it's not going to happen. But yeah, Gabriel is great. I have a full team: Kepa, me, Henry, White, Tarkowski, Trippier, Martin. 1 free transfer, wild card in next week. 5.2 in the bank. Who would you get? I think you get rid of Nyonto, right? Because Kepa should start. Me, Henry, White, Tarkowski, Trippier, Martinelli, Saka. I feel like you could even maybe take a -4. Could you not do Nyonto to Watkins and like Tarkowski to Chilwell? Take a -4. Take a bit of a punt before wild card in next week. I'd be tempted by that. If you don't want to take a hit, I'd probably just do Nyonto to a forward. Like Watkins or Havertz. You could go Havertz if you want to. Or João Felix if you want to. I haven't done Haaland to Watkins yet. No, I better forget to not do that. Do you know what this is how, like... I don't know about anyone else, but I find it really hard to think about transfers now without trying to take into account like the next 4, 5, 6 weeks, say maybe even 7 weeks, like right up until 34. And if I wanted to keep Saka in game week 29 and sell Odegaard and still be able to get Haaland back, then I would have to do Tony to Solanke or Iheanacho, bear with me, and then sell Watkins in game week 30 before Nottingham Forest at home. So as soon as I realised that was a possibility, not a guarantee I do that, but a possibility, as soon as I realised that, I thought, well, hang on a second, Watkins has got 2 away games in the double, and if I'm not going to have him for Nottingham Forest at home, maybe I'd just go for Havertz, right? Have him for Everton at home, Villa at home, Liverpool at home, and then he'd be much easier to sell in game week 30 if I needed to. But at the same time, if I don't need to sell Watkins, then I'd rather have him for Nottingham Forest at home. So I did. There was a small part of me yesterday that made me think about going Havertz instead of Watkins for that, just because he'd be easier to sell in game week 30, which is probably the most stupid reason ever. The thing is, Haaland's going to drop in price tonight, right? He's going to drop in price. He is on FPL statistics. He is minus 581% to drop in price. Now, some of that could be free hit, but he should drop in price. So if I sell him and he drops in price, that's 0.2 million to get him back. It's not actually that much, really. Watkins' minutes more secure than Havertz. Look, if you said to me one of these two players is not going to start like once in the next 10 games, then I probably would be more confident it's Havertz that hasn't started than Watkins. But I actually think Havertz's minutes are very good. I think they're actually a little bit underestimated. They have got a lot of players, obviously, Chelsea, in those positions. So there is a chance that Havertz at some point might not start. There's probably a little bit more chance between game weeks 30, 31 and 31-32 for the Champions League. But I wouldn't be surprised if Havertz just starts all of the next 5 to 6 weeks, to be honest with you. So I'm probably just going to go for Watkins. But the thought did cross my mind for Havertz a little bit. I even looked at Iheanacho. Because I saw a good tweet by I can't remember what's the FPL Roycer, who said earlier in the season, it basically said people were saying Iheanacho would be an amazing option if he played consistently, and now he started 6 consecutive matches. It's got Brentford away, Crystal Palace away, Aston Villa at home, Bournemouth at home, next 4 matches in 3 game weeks. And I was thinking, it feels like you're directly calling me out a little bit there. And I know he wasn't, like lots of people have said it, but how many times have a lot of people said if Iheanacho was nailed on, he'd be a great option? And yet I haven't really considered him for this week over Watkins. He also might be on penalties, as we discussed earlier. And he lets me sell Odegaard instead of Saka next week. So I'm probably going to get Watkins, but there is a part of me that's thinking about Iheanacho and Havertz. I like Iheanacho's price. I just don't trust Brendan Rodgers to play him every single game over the next 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'd probably have to play him in 31 where he's got Man City, unless Brighton and Newcastle double. Would you feel different about transferring your Brighton defender if it was Duncan, not Estupinian? Maybe, but I don't think it would make a huge difference. So maybe Iheanacho is the one. Maybe Iheanacho is the one. Let me just check something there. Who are the away fixtures for Watkins? It is Chelsea away, Leicester away. I mean, Leicester always concede. Chelsea not so good though. Yeah, I keep forgetting about the bench boost. Yeah, I don't know. It's tempting. I mean, Isak's another one. Right? Well, what if Isak keeps his place and Wilson doesn't play and he's on penalties? Could be great. Chance of a triple game week for Man United at some point. Look, I'm not a fixture guru like James and Ben and people like that, but I don't think there's been any talk about triple game weeks. I think there's enough free midweeks and stuff now. Like, if Man United beat Fulham, they'll basically double in 29, 34 and 37. And that'll be it for the season then. Tony captain, not a bad option, honestly, against Leicester. Poor team. Poor defence, sorry. Poor defence. Poor defence. The thing is, if I was looking at Tony, would I really go for him over Kane? Probably not. How about Odegaard for captain over a tired Saka? But Saka came on like the 65th minute, so he played 30, 35, 25, so 55 minutes. So I don't think Saka's going to be that tired, really. Maybe mentally. Free hit. Kepa, Trippier, Gabriel, Chilwell, midfield, Maddison, Marseille, Mudryk, Son. Mudryk, nice punt. Isak, Kane, Watkins, please advise. I mean, that sounds alright to me. I think I would have Havertz over Isak. For the home game against Everton. Oh, you've got triple Chelsea though. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I would probably have Tony instead of Isak. I like it. By the way, I don't want to get everyone on my case again about Isak, but I think you take Tony at home, right? Unless you're trying to be different, of course, which is fine. I think I would risk James over Trippier. No, you can't do that because you got triple Chelsea. Yeah, I think it's fine. I would go for Saka or Odegaard over Martinelli for safety. In fact, I wouldn't have Maddison and Marseille. I would have Saka and Odegaard, I think. But there's nothing wrong with your team. Havertz or Tony on wildcard? Havertz for sure. I don't think there's any point in risking Tony on a wildcard. Saka or Odegaard if you own neither. Saka. What do you think about Saka's dropping form and Odegaard's improving form? Look, these things happen. Like there was a time not too many weeks ago when we were all doing Martinelli to Odegaard, and then all of a sudden Odegaard stopped getting points, and then we were saying we regret doing it. And now obviously he scored a goal against Everton and a goal against Fulham. Things have changed again. So like it's not that tactics and stuff from the manager can't change things. Like with Trossard playing, it does let Martinelli come in a little bit more, for example. But I wouldn't put Odegaard suddenly ahead of Saka. I'd always have Saka ahead while he's on penalties. So if I could do every move I wanted to and only sell one, I would sell Odegaard before Saka, to be honest with you. Haaland and or Estupinian to Watkins and Chilwell, 2 free transfers. Yeah, I quite like that. Will I ever be getting Davern noodles again? Possibly in game week 34. I don't really want to worry about that move too much because by that point, who knows? Luis Diaz might be back. They could have Diaz, Jota, Gakpo, Nunez, Salah. Gets a bit tricky then, right? You probably just pick Salah and ignore the rest. But yeah, possibly in game week 34 because I think he's first choice. With 8 players playing in the back line of Trippier, Gabriel, Chilwell, Estupinian and Rico Lewis, which defender would you get in from -4? James, me, or just play with 8? Bench boost next week. I'd probably get James or a second Newcastle defender. James if you're feeling a little bit risky. Davern Noodles returns. He does. I'm not sure about Haaland to like players like João Felix for a hit. You could do it. I think one thing to the reason why I'm so keen on doing Haaland to Watkins, one, he's going to drop in price. It's only going to be 0.2 to get him back. But also it's the Tony switch. Tony's got to go. The only issue is Tony's now 1 yellow card away from suspension. That yellow is really annoying. I could have really done with him going into game week 29 still needing 2. Because I might have to get rid of him beforehand now. But that is basically why. It's not just doing Haaland to Watkins then back again. It's Haaland to Watkins then Tony back to Haaland. Alex Moreno, is he worth a punt? Right, let me see how many games he's played recently. I think, first of all, the problem with him is, straight away, I'm having to check how many he's played. Like, so he's played in the last 4, 63, 69, 29, 77. So he always gets subbed off if he starts. And at one point, that could be before the 60th minute. And against Everton, he didn't even play. Now, I know Aston Villa fans think that he is much, much better than Luca Dean. But I don't know if we can be completely sure about him. So I think Matty Cash is probably the one to go for if you want one of the fullbacks. Why don't you just do Estepina to Chilwell next week, Henry to Estepina? Because he just adds an extra transfer, that's all. In a week where I'm already going to have to take quite a few hits, I'd say. Tony isn't the type of player to be cautious about the yellow. Maybe. Apparently, Sherry's starting. According to who? According to who? Quick, tell me now. Tell me now. Tell me now. Where are you seeing that? I can't see anything about it. 2 people said it in quick succession. Almost made it sound like it had been confirmed somewhere. I don't know. Maybe he'll play. Spurs in similar boat to Arsenal, chasing top 4, so another argument for Kane. Yeah, but like Saka's chasing the literal title. So I don't know if that changes things massively. By the way, on the Henry to Chilwell move, I was looking earlier. Brentford play at 3 o'clock. Brentford play at 3 o'clock. So if the clean sheet gets locked in at 3 o'clock and then we find out Chilwell's not starting, or we've got to wait to see if he gets a clean sheet just to match him at 5:30, it's not great. Not great. I think whatever happens, given his heroics recently, I've got to play Solly March. Would I use a hit to get Chilwell for a Brentford defender? I don't think I personally would, no. Don't think I personally would. I think I would just wait. Wouldn't be surprised if the site crashes with the chits being played. Possibly. Possibly. Mac A to who got 2.5 in the bank for a -4 to get a play in 11. I probably wouldn't do the -4. I would just keep McAllister for next week. There's not even that many good midfielders this week. Maddison, maybe. On free hit, Trossard or Odegaard. I would go Odegaard just for safety and minutes, I think. Trippier or an Arsenal defender. I'd probably go Gabriel over Trippier. Triple Chelsea defence. I guess you want to leave your options open in case you want a midfielder or a forward down the line. I'm not sure Chelsea defence is worth a triple up necessarily. I guess Kepa, James and Chilwell could be nice, but could be a nightmare if they get rested at any point, which could happen. I think this week's going to be really interesting. I know Kane's going to be really highly captain, but there's a lot of people thinking about Watkins, thinking about Tony, Armon Saka. I'm sure there's going to be some others around. I'm a little bit worried about not captaining Kane. Ugh, not good. I'm going to stick to Odegaard. I think there's a lot to like about him. Mostly that he's guaranteed to start and his minutes are good. And he didn't play 120 minutes. Georgie. How is it going? Goalkeeper. Martinez. Defense. Hang on. Is this a free hit or not? Or is this your normal team? Martinez. Defender. Share. Cash. Trippier. Trossard. Saka. Ward-Prowse. Bruno Guimaraes. Iheanacho captain, Watkins, Kane. Is that a free hit? If it's a free hit, I don't like Bruno Guimaraes or Ward-Prowse. Southampton are so poor, how can you not captain Kane? But so are Crystal Palace. It's not like Crystal Palace are great. I think I am going to do Haaland to Watkins. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Havertz worries me a little bit though. I'm actually going to go for the Brighton boys on the bench. This is my main worry right now is... How do I get... Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. Amartey's minutes are risk this game. I feel like he's going to start, but he did play 120 minutes. So if he was ever going to be rested, it's now. But let's not forget that Jesus has not long been back and he started. So I would assume it's going to be a Saka, Trossard, Marseille front three. Rumours of Danny Ward being dropped. There are rumours of that, yeah. I have him for bench boost 29. Is it worth bringing in Kepa for him this week for a -4? I mean, who's your other goalkeeper? If you've got a decent goalkeeper for this week, then I would just... Basically, if Ward is your keeper this week, then yes, I would take that hit. If you've got another goalkeeper you could play, I think I would just wait to see what happens and decide next week. Son punt on a free hit. Yes, I would take a punt on Son, I think. Because I don't think there's a huge amount of great midfielders this week. So yeah, I would. I like that. I like what you've done there. 5-man midfield. Saka, Marseille, Odegaard, Son, Madison. Like it. Chilwell or James? I'm going to stick with Chilwell and just hope that long term he stays fitter than James. Right, I think I'm just going to get Watkins. And if Havertz smashes it, then Havertz smashes it. Fair play. Fair play to Havertz owners. I think I just... Okay, let's just do this move now. Can you believe this? Selling Erling frickin' Haaland. Okay, Watkins in. Team looks better already. Whoa, why is March back in? Oh, did I not save the team? That's not good. Okay. March 3rd March 3rd bench. These are the important things. Now the question is whether or not to get... I think I'm going to do Henry to Chilwell. Has Havertz ever smashed it in his Chelsea career? No, maybe the time is now. Is Gabriel safer than Zinchenko? He probably is a little bit. I just prefer him anyway, but if they both start, there's not a lot in it probably. Will we get share news before the deadline? Possibly. Should never play with 10 unless there's a blank game with a double next week. Nah, I'm not going to start. The thing is, I would usually start all my Brighton. If I was in a mini league, right, and I didn't do YouTube, I would start all my Brighton players because it really annoys people. I think they're very irrational about how annoyed they get about it. But because I do content, I can't be doing with all the messages about why have I started them and stuff like that. So no, I just leave it like this. Porro over Trippier. I don't think I would take the risk there. I'd probably just get Trippier. But if you fancy a punt, absolutely you should go for it. I've changed. How have I changed? I'm gonna check the scoring odds that FPL Salah always posts. Game week 28, anytime scorer, 50% Kane, 50%. Tony 43%, Watkins 38, Saka 36. I'm worried. I feel like there's not many people on Saka now. Isn't it better to finalise your team this way and take a free transfer for 29? Yeah, possibly, but I feel like I want to get rid of Henry anyway. And Kane is great. Kane is absolutely great. I haven't seen any share news. I apologise. Kane hasn't scored away in a long time. Is that true? Is that factually correct? Away. Scored against Fulham. So 1, 2, 3 away games ago. Scored against Fulham. I don't think that would worry me. It's a good fixture. I think who is Cher the singer? Isn't that how Fabian Cher is pronounced? Like it's spelt, or at least it looks to an ignorant English person like me as Shah, but I think it's pronounced Cher, right? But I won't need that extra transfer for 29 by going Chilwell unless Chilwell's injured, in which case, screw it. I've taken a risk. If Chilwell's fit, I will want him for 29. No, never, no more. I'm playing the Irish playlist for Paddy's Day. Ward-Prowse has a single goal in XG missed, and Bruno's on the rise in terms of form. Hence the reason for that free hit selection. Yeah, I personally, I would not free hit and get Bruno Gomes from Ward-Prowse. I know it can make me look very stupid if that goes well, but I think there's much better options in midfield. Madison, Son, Saka, Odegaard. You don't have 3 Arsenal players either, so you could even get a third Arsenal midfielder instead of Ward-Prowse or Bruno Gomes. But honestly, it's up to you. It's your free hit. If you want to go for it, go for it. Nez is sharing stuff on share in the chat. Let me see. My friend... Jesus. Yeah, I don't know if I can share that, to be honest. No, and by the way, I can't share it because I just can't be sure it's legit. I've not seen any Arsenal, any Newcastle team news. Captaining Tony, blaze of glory before suspension. Tony captain. I mean, Leicester at home is a great fixture. I feel like if I was gonna, I can't remember who I put higher in the game week preview video, but I think I would probably have Tony higher than Watkins slightly. Because I think Bournemouth's a great fixture, but I don't think Leicester's any worse. And also, Tony is probably a better FPL option. But then again, maybe Everson comes in and absolutely smashes it. Maybe he'll come in and absolutely smash it. I don't know. I'm worried about Saka. But I've been on Saka all week. Yeah, but business... Yeah, exactly. I don't think I can trust that tweet somehow. You're going to Villa Park tomorrow, so Watkins captain seems sensible. Fair enough. Fair enough. I think the reason I'm not switching from Saka is there's not really a player that I think I really want to captain them. You've sold me Kane all day, but I'm going Saka. You should go for Kane. If you think Kane's better, just go for him. Like I always hate saying this. I feel like when you do stuff like this, you've really got to have like a strong opinion and stick to it. But when I think about captaining Saka, I just feel like it's fine. I don't have a strong argument or opinion about him, really. Like, I could captain any of my forwards over Saka, and I think it could be a good decision this week. But I'm going to stick with the guy I've been on all week. Good fixture, at home, on penalties. I guess all the forwards are also on penalties. Did me, Haaland, Chilwell, Watkins, Tony captain? Good luck. Lots of people suddenly switching to Tony. Where has this come from? Don't make me think about this now. I want to just go for Saka and leave it. Saka's playing on Sunday. So by Sunday, I'll know how badly I need him to score compared to Tony, Kane and Watkins. The extra clean sheet point for Saka is compensated with the extra bonus Kane gets. Absolutely. Stephen, how's it going? 59 months. You're nearly at the 5 years. That is absolutely mental. Kepa, Kilman, Tarkowski, White. Would you do Salah to Son before wildcard 29? Kepa, Kilman, Tarkowski, White, Trippier, Saka, Martinelli, Watkins, Kane, Tony. 10 players and you're taking a -4. Salah to Son for a -4. I think I probably would. Take a punt for a -4. Why not? Hope you get it back. Saka has a slightly earlier kickoff across the 2 days. Wait, what? What does that mean? He's playing on Sunday. Yeah, look, the narratives are already written for Arsenal. If they smash Crystal Palace and you haven't captained them, the narrative is going to be, well, we should have seen that come in. They've just played in the Europa League. They've gone out. They really wanted to make a statement. If Arsenal end up losing 1-0, well, it'll be, well, obviously, they played 120 minutes in the Europa League. What did you expect? That they are the two narratives that are going to happen. It just depends on how the result goes. Do you know? Honest, have I thought about a defender captain? So I'm talking about Kane, Tony, etc. But I feel like I'm going to do Henry to Chilwell any minute, and I think I'd like to captain him just as much as anyone else. I just hate captaining defenders. You know that. I'm probably going to get Chilwell in for Henry as my second free transfer. So let's just do that now. Right, we're locked in now. This is locked. This is locked. Apart from captaincy, now I have 8 minutes and 46 seconds to sweat on captaincy. 2 free transfers used. Triple Brighton on the bench. Rashford as well. Estupinian stays. Let's hope he has a quick flight back from Australia. He's going to come off it. He's going to. By the way, Estupinian is going to get back from Australia. He's going to start the first game in Double Game Week 29, and he's going to come off in the 59th minute with no attack and returns. That's probably what's going to happen. Do 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 do. Did you say earlier that you're not really considering Chilwell this week? No, definitely said the opposite. March to Madison, worth it. Bring back 10 in 33. It could be okay, but McAllister might double in 29 and 31. That's the only thing. So I'd probably rather have the Brighton player than Madison. Henry got into some good positions last game. Look, Henry might be a big mistake. He could get a clean sheet. He could get an attack and return, and it might be an absolute disaster. But I think Chilwell is the better pick going forward as long as he can stay fit. Let's see what happens. I think if Henry keeps a clean sheet or gets an attack and return, then you can probably say that's a mistake straight away. But I've done it. I've done it. I think I'm just going to stick where I am. I don't think there's enough that makes me want to switch to Kane, really. I mean, it could be one of those that looks really obvious after the fact, but Chilwell can wait a week, but if I'm going to do it anyway, I want to take the better player this week. I've already gone through this quite a lot. Look, there's advantages to saving the transfer for sure, but if Chilwell ends up getting a clean sheet and a couple of bonus or an assist and Henry concedes, then I'll be really glad I did it this week. It's close. It's close. If people are not confident with Chilwell, they should definitely wait a week. Definitely wait a week. I've not seen anything about Newcastle. I don't know if does the Newcastle team get leaked that much? I guess we're not usually worried about it, are we? Because we just got Trippier and he plays every game. I kind of forget I've got 2 players playing tonight. How quickly will Nottingham Forest wipe out the clean sheet? pretty quickly, I'd say. I didn't get rid of Estepinian because I really want to keep him going forward. I don't necessarily want to keep Henry quite as much. But look, if Henry gets a clean sheet in the double, then it's going to look really bad. Why am I not tempted to captain Tony more? Why are you not tempted to captain Saka more? Tick says he's got someone who has the team, but he got the Carabao final wrong, so he's not confident in him. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Look at Crystal Palace's last 5 results. Are they good or bad? I mean, the manager just got sacked, so I'm going to assume they're bad. They lost 1-0, lost 1-0, 1-0, 0-0, 1-0. Yeah, good defence. Good defence. Good defence. Against Man City and Liverpool as well. I would captain Kane. Big mistake with Saka. Then you should definitely captain Kane. You're going to captain Son on free hit. Nice. Chilwell captain. Yeah. If I didn't have so much hate towards captain and defenders, then I would consider Chilwell, but I don't think I'm going to do it. Trippier captain. Captain Kane. Trying to change your mind. It's not going to work. I'm kind of set where I am. I'm kind of okay with it, I think. Tony captain, if you want to, yeah. Biggest regret of your life, not giving Kane captain. I think that's very unlikely. You're talking to someone that's not captain Haaland for 5 returns, not had Salah for 4 returns. Has been smashed by Haaland on multiple occasions for going for Salah. I don't think captaining Saka over Kane is going to be the worst thing. But you never know. You never know. Any Saliba news? Not that I've seen, no. Not that I've seen. Solanke differential, good luck. I love Solanke. Solanke captain, no-brainer. Tony or Watkins for me. There's a lot of people in the chat suddenly talking about Tony. Look, Watkins or Tony captain. Tony or Watkins for me. Tony or Chilwell. Oh no, sorry, it's not Chilwell. Tony or Havertz on a free hit. I would go for Tony over Havertz. Will Chilwell not stop you moving for Maddison or Fernandes? It wouldn't stop me moving for Maddison. The only thing with Fernandes is I'll probably have to sell Saka instead of Odegaard. Tony gets his 10th yellow this week. Are you bringing Haaland back in next week? Who knows? We'll decide next week. Maybe, maybe not. Not seeing any share news, no. Tony replacement, Watkins, Havertz or Isak. I would just keep him unless you're on wildcard, in which case I'll probably just go Watkins. Watkins will score more than Saka. Happy days. It's good points then. Who's going to be over 100% effective ownership this week? Saka and Kane, I guess. That should be it, right? Will Tony get close to it? Maybe. Will Watkins get close to it? Like, is Watkins and Tony's ownership going to be so high? I guess they're not going to be captain massively. Estepinian to Chilwell and in 29 Henry to Estepinian. You could do that. It just adds an extra transfer. If you'd rather have the extra player this week, that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. Henry to James for -4. I don't think I would do that. Trippier maybe? Oh, yeah. Well, he won't be over 100, I'd say. Maybe. My mate Tommy has me as captain. Surely not. Which captain will give us the high rank rise? I mean, whichever one scores the most points, right? Whichever one scores the most points. Your Arsenal source not been back recently? Yeah, got stuff last week. Gabriel's fine, apparently. And I think Zinchenko's fine as well, but there's no team sheet, so I don't know who's starting. It could be that Zinchenko's fine and he doesn't start, same with Gabriel, but I'm going to assume Gabriel, unless he's injured, will definitely start though. Red arrow till Sunday will hurt. I mean, to be honest, given that it's a blank, you could absolutely get a green arrow going into Sunday, which would be nice with triple Arsenal. I think it's possible. possible. Because a lot of people are going to be on triple Arsenal, right? The only difference is the captaincy. So unless, obviously, if Kane has gone and got a hat-trick or something, then yeah, fair enough, maybe a red arrow. But I think there's every chance of being on a green going into triple Arsenal, maybe. No hits, either. Oh, by the way, it's nearly deadline time. We're like 30 seconds from the deadline. I didn't even realise we were so close. I've just seen it on the screen. All right, let me just check again. Points, pick team. Kepa in goal. Saka captain staying. Chilwell is in. Kane is vice. Yeah, I guess that's it. Haaland went from 84% to 73% ownership. Wow. First time not owning Haaland all season for me. Yeah, he's on 73%. Wow. 10%, that's over 1 million. How many's he had out? I can literally just look at transfers out. Nearly 1 million transfers out, 923,845. Ooh. Right, we're locked. Locked in. Is Saliba fit? I don't know yet. No news about that. Right, people. I'm going to shoot straight off because it's the wife's birthday on St. Patrick's Day in Ireland. And she's let me come home to stream. So I'm going to go and see what she wants to do now. Maybe go to the pub. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe just drink at home. Maybe I'll just have a couple of Coke Zeros. Who knows? Stay nice and sober. But thank you very much for joining me. Give the stream a like if you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button. We will be back on Sunday with a knee-jerk stream. After that, I'm not quite sure because it is the international break. So yeah, make sure to give it a like if you did enjoy it. Hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, I am going to be off. And yeah, enjoy the weekend. Hopefully, it's another green arrow. That'll be my 5th one in a row. Fingers crossed. Captaincy could become a big part. But ultimately, I think the team looks pretty good for this week. Next week's going to get very interesting because there are hits coming. Right, I'm definitely taking a hit next week. -4 is locked in. There's no chance of a -4 not happening. A -8 is very likely. I even think we could get up to -12s next week. I really do. But let's see first. So yeah, I'm off. Give it a like, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you again soon.